Hello and good morning. My name is Kieron Seamons. This is my inky world, and today we're going to do some drawings. I've got a few requests. I got a request from Cincinnati, Cincinnati in America, from Margaret to draw a leopard. So maybe we'll draw a leopard today. I say maybe because once I start throwing down the ink, you never know where it's going to go. So let's get on with some drawings. Custard cream. Well, hello and welcome back. We're going to try and get into a leopard. I've been asked to draw a leopard. Apparently I've never drawn a leopard before on this channel. Well, this one's from Margaret in Oregon, over in America. And apparently I have heard amazing things about Oregon. I've heard that it's a very, 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 very beautiful place to be. So, Margaret, you're a very lucky lady. So, let's get in with a nice line to start me off with. I don't know, just that's nice. That is nice. I do like just to kind of throw a bit of ink down somewhere and just to kind of see where it kind of takes me. And sometimes with a brush and sometimes with a pen. And it always kind of leads me to something quite beautiful, I think. Right, well that's got the that's got the brain ticking. That's what we want, right? We want the brain to be ticking away. So right, I think I could probably make that into an arm. Right, let's get in to find out where this leopard. We have been requested to draw a leopard. And as you know, these morning drawings together are just you and me. Nobody else. It's just me and you, and you're drawing and I'm drawing, and we have a chat and we talk about the world and whatever madness is going on in the world. You do a bit of drawing, I do a bit of drawing. Nothing too serious, just a little bit of fun. Alright, so I think I've got some kind of head thing going on there. One day I'm going to have to jump on a plane and go to all these places that all these people that are writing to me are from, so I can actually see what they're like. I used to have a friend. I used to work in Shanghai. I used to work with a lovely old guy called Dan, and Dan was one of the big hearts in this world. He's not with us anymore. But Dan was a beautiful man, an absolute beautiful man, and he used to turn up in Shanghai, and he was about 74 or something, you know. And we would always go and sit and have a beer, or a cup of tea, or whatever Dan was in the mood for, and he always had a million stories. That's why I loved the guy. He always had thousands of stories about all his adventures, and such a fantastic person. And in fact, I actually gave my son's middle name is Daniel, after him. He was just one of those people. I'd met him a few times in Shanghai. So he had actually he'd been to Korea to do animation. he had been to Japan and the Philippines, and you know, when I met Dan, I thought I'd kind of like seen the world, but you meet somebody like Dan, and wow, he's been everywhere. He's been to Korea a few times, and his last visit was actually to India, and that sadly is where he passed away. But he was one of those very, very, very special people. You know, we'd be kind of sitting in a bar as being these men all kind of dressed up in suits and whatever for our job, and there was always in these bars, there was always these kind of like hanger-on girls, you know, the tall, skinny, pretty ones that think everybody's in love with them. And they would kind of come up to our table, and Dan would say, I'm sorry, we're in the middle of a conversation about racing cars or something, you know. He was just the most delightful person. And I remember when he first came to Shanghai, he was walking into work one morning, and he had passed this little old lady who was selling some kind of nut. I don't know, it was a cashew nut or a peanut or whatever. Oh, it was monkey nuts. The ones with the casing, and then you have to break it all open and you get the peanuts inside. Well, we call them monkey nuts. I don't know what you call them. What do you call them? And he thought to himself, well, you know, I'll help the old lady. I mean, he was an old man anyway. You know, he was in his late 70s, mid 70s at the time. And he thought to himself that he would help this old lady and buy some of her peanuts. So I have no idea what the cost of peanuts was, but he kind of put down in the equivalent of like about £20 for these nuts, like trying to help the old lady. Oh, give me some of your nuts. And she was just shoveling and shoveling and shoveling. And in the end, he was like, no, keep the money, I only want some. And he turned up to the studio with this huge big carrier bag of peanuts, trying to explain where all these peanuts had come from. It was, oh, lovely old Dan. And he had a big house up in Oregon. Yes, all these lovely people that you meet through your life. That's why we should meet more people, you know. In fact, I saw a lovely video about some lady who was walking. Every day when she walks to work, she passes the same man in the street, and they'd been kind of passing each other for years. And one morning, oh, she'd been saying it for a long time. She was, I must say good morning, just one time. I must say good morning, you know. And then one morning she did say good morning, and they just seemed to brighten up the guy's day, you know. It was like his whole face lit up just because she had said good morning. And I think that's very, very true, you know. When we walk in the park and things like that, I always try to say hello to people. I always try and meet new people. Such a beautiful thing. And you know, there's so many times when a simple good morning could make somebody's day. A simple kind comment. That's a lovely scarf you've got. Or isn't it a windy day today? You be careful you don't lose your hat. Or whatever. Some kind of little comment could actually make somebody go home feeling wonderful. So say hello to somebody today. Say hello to somebody that you've never said hello to before. Maybe you've been promising yourself to say hello to somebody. There's a lovely old couple in the park that I always stop just to say hello and isn't it a beautiful day or something. I always make an effort. I always do. And I remember one time after talking, I don't know, we were probably talking about dogs or Mr. Miro's haircut or something, you know. And at the end of the talk, as I said goodbye, and he said, "Thank you for stopping to talk. Thank you for stopping to say hello." And it really touched me. You know, somebody could be going through a very, 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 very bad time at the moment. And by you just saying good morning to them, could be really quite powerful. Right, I need to get that brush back. I need to get some thickness down here. It's all starting to get very thin on this head, isn't it? You've got a very kind of goofy expression now, hasn't he? There's something beautiful about the feeling of the ink on a brush. It's something very, very beautiful about it. I love the way that it's just so fluid, you know. I love that feeling. And we've got to put the spots on. I know. I don't know if you've realised, but if you see like a jaguar and then you see a black panther, they're basically the same cat. Except one is black. And if you look very close, you can see all the spots on his body and on his head and his legs and arms. Obviously, don't get too close to a black panther, otherwise you might end up to be dinner, breakfast, or a small snack, depending on what size you are. And I hope today you're drawing. I hope you're drawing something. I hope you're getting your Funki Doodler feelings going and letting some ink or some paint move today. I find it's one of the greatest luxuries of life is being able to paint and draw and such like. Let's get some nice big claws going in there. So what are you doing today? What's your plans today? Are you doing anything fun and funky today? In a couple of hours I'm going back to the park to do my charity walk. And I do appreciate all your donations, every single one of you. I'm doing the charity walk with my friend John Mansell. And we are walking 100 kilometers. 100 kilometers for the charity Marie Curie. And it's the end of life, and it's a very, very, very important charity. Very, very, very important. All the people that, especially in the UK, because it's like when people get old, like there was a guy down the road who when he got old and had to go into a home, he had to actually sell his house just to pay for the hospital. Which, you know, I find that really quite disgusting. I find that's absolutely horrible, that these people that have probably been through the war and they have spent their entire life paying taxes and looking after the, just to be told that there is no money in the pot for you. Now you're old. I always find that so heartbreaking. And I was talking with his daughters about it. And they had to sell the house just to pay for his hospital. And I guess that's, well, you know, it's probably a situation all around the world, probably. But it would be beautiful if you see that line was there. That's going to be his tail, tucked up underneath him. It would be wonderful if, when you kind of got old, all your monies could be looked after. All your monies could be for your next generation, you know. And that all the taxes and all the money that you've paid into your country over your life could go ahead and look after you. That we would kind of give respect to some of these old people. Beautiful, beautiful respect. But anyway, it's a beautiful charity, and if you follow the link to Facebook, you will see a link that will take you to John Mansell's page. And I'm walking with John. It's just that it's just easier to do it as one name. Rather than us kind of walking in competition, we just walk together and have a nice chat and a nice walk with the dogs, and it's a beautiful day. We walk in this very old park called Goff's Park, and beautiful old trees and such. So it's a fantastic place to be. And I do enjoy my daily walk. I do all my art needs in the morning, and Mr. Miro mostly sleeps or runs around like a lunatic. And then around lunchtime or whenever it feels good, we go to the park and we take a walk. We take a break from life. Right. We take a break from life. And we just walk in the park and get some fresh air. As everybody should. Everybody should try and squeeze into their day a little bit of relaxation, you know. Right, that tail. That tail is going to... Let's do the tail up here. That's his big tail. And I still have a hand to draw, or a paw to draw for those technical people. I'm sure there must be an easier way to draw all these kind of spots. But that is today's jaguar, or leopard. I think it was a leopard, wasn't it? And it is a very cold day outside today. It looks very cold. Mr. Miro is fast asleep at the moment. Except when I found the biscuit under my hat. And then he he instantly bounced into life. In fact, actually having a dog has been very, very, very good because it has stopped me to buy chocolate biscuits because dogs can't have chocolate. So, well, our dogs really shouldn't be eating our biscuits, but I like to give him a little bit off the corner of my biscuit. And he always feels like my biscuits are like 1,000,000 times better than his biscuits. I'm sure they're not, but if I give him a tiny little piece of my biscuit, he's over the moon. He's like I've given him a plate of gold or something, you know. Right. Get some of these spots done. I have been working on the shop, but to be honest, I'm losing a little bit of faith with the shop. It's costing so much to run the shop, and I'm really not getting enough sales. So I have been rethinking about how to do it. Should I move it away from Etsy, or should I do something different? What shops does anybody else have a shop? Does anybody else use a shop? I would love to know. I'm just finding that with the fees and everything, it's getting so ridiculous. And I'm also finding that all with the postage and everything, things are getting very expensive. But at the moment, I don't have any other way. I do love the idea of having a shop. I do have a lovely idea of selling all my drawings and making products out of them, which is obviously every artist's kind of enjoyment. Well, Margaret, I hope you're was it Margaret or was it Martha? I hope you're enjoying your leopard. There he is there. His tail coming all the way around there. I hope you're enjoying your splashy, spotty cat. Oh, let's give him some kind of belly colour. And I would love to know what you're drawing today, or what you're painting today. I'd love to know. I would love to know. I love the idea that when I'm doing my little drawings, that you're doing your little drawings. You know, when you're doing your morning sketches, your morning scribbles like I do. I would love to know what you're drawing today. Are you drawing a cat? Are you drawing a leopard? Or what are you drawing? Right, so I need another paw. Lovely. Here's our jumping leopard. What a beautiful morning. Not with the weather, but with feeling. I'm gonna have to wrap up very warm today. I'm gonna have to get a coat for Mr. Miro, although he doesn't really like wearing coats. I have to admit it. He does kind of give me those kind of puppy dog eyes, as if to say, "Oh, not a coat. Oh, Dad, please no." Right, get some claws on there. And I would love to know what you think of today's leopard drawing. Like Margaret said, I haven't drawn a leopard before, so it's new. It's a new feeling. I think it comes up quite nice, I think. I know why I haven't drawn a leopard before, because I have to draw all these spots. And there is an absolutely delightful leopard. What do you think? Do you like today's drawing? Squeeze my name in there somewhere. Didn't leave much space today, didn't I? So if you would like to support my charity of the Mary Curie, I will be out doing my walk today, and I'd love to see some of your names come up in support. I would absolutely love that. Lovely. Today's jumping leopard. Isn't that beautiful? Wonderful. And that is today's drawing. The magnificent jumping leopard. He actually looks a very happy leopard, to be honest. Like, I'm going to kill you. Yes, I'm going to eat you. Wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. I'm very, very, very pleased with that. Very, very pleased with it. But I would love to know what you think about it. You're the important one. Fantastic. So that is today's drawing. The jumping leopard for Margaret in Oregon. So thank you very much for coming. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for being here. And do subscribe. And if you've got a comment, I would love to hear from you. I'd love to get a comment. Find out where you are and where in the world you are actually watching this video from. So, from me and Mr. Miro, who's fast asleep, I bid you good day. And I will see you back here for another drawing tomorrow. Have a fantastic day. See you soon. Bye-bye.